Hey there, YouTube. A warm welcome to everyone. It's Controversial Merrick here. I'm recording an update straight from the battlefield. Why? Because Bitcoin just broke its all-time high. Okay, just barely, but it did. Doesn't matter if it's by a cent or a dollar. What matters is that it broke through. The previous high was at 111,950. The current level is at 112,000. And we can see that Bitcoin is starting to struggle here. And now, as always, there are two options. The first thing, which is key, is my scenario for short positions. Up to this point, it got invalidated because I was betting on a scenario where it would drop below that low. I hit my stop loss. I was trading. I'll show you in a moment. I was trading. Hold on. I was trading from here, and from here. So overall, my average price was around 108,650, with a stop loss at 110,850. And thank goodness that stop loss was there, because they moved pretty aggressively. And honestly, the real aggressive move only happened with that A4, an absolutely brutal manipulation. Why do I think so? I think so because that A4 during the American session, which collected liquidity, got slapped hard, and instead of continuing the move, we had a boom, a doji candle, a pullback, and really, it was only the last hour of the session that caused what you might call devastation, so there's not much more to say here. I didn't think we'd break the all-time high, but that's what happened, and now we have to adapt to what's currently happening on the market. Taking into account the fact that if we close the daily candle above and it doesn't turn out to be a trap, meaning we don't drop back below this red zone on the daily soon, then now this level, that whole area of 110,500, we can actually narrow it down a bit or even remove it and mark a new one. But this whole zone, let's make it like this, at 110. Let's do it this way, because that's actually enough. I'll make it red anyway, because it's more convenient for me. I've already gotten used to it. And this whole zone, my friends, will now be the zone that holds us from above. Let's also check how much fuel is left. But what we did in the group was inform on the Alton Gems channel that the alts are ready. I was waiting for Bitcoin. When Bitcoin makes an expansion, we'll get a rally on the alts and on Ethereum. Okay. And now we've started to break out upwards, unloading our wedge. It could still calmly turn back, but it's worth watching because a big move is ahead of us. The moment we started to break out upwards, we expected that there could be a really big move, and privately, in the hedge, we were also trading long positions from here, which we're still holding, though they've been partially realized and secured at break-even. However, what's most interesting is what Ethereum did today, because Ether really caught the wind in its sails today, and very strongly at that. Why? Because Ether almost hit the 2,800 level, and my friends, that gives us a solid 8% increase. Okay, it's not some mind-blowing amount. There have been days when it did more, but that's still a pretty significant rise, right? There was even a day when it did more, 23%. But let's be honest, 8% on an asset in a single day is a lot. That's quite a bit, honestly. And now, with Bitcoin, I see two options. Remember to do your own analysis, as what I'm saying is just my view. I repeat this in every video, that this isn't advice, and everyone should do what they think is right. I'm just sharing this as a journal. Nevertheless, I see two options right now. The first option is that we'll go up again to around 114,000, and then we'll see what happens next. The second option is that this was already the absolute maximum. We broke the all-time high, but it was just a trap, and then now we'll slowly start heading back down, potentially for a period. Bitcoin on the daily chart, my dear friends, almost 3.5% today. That's quite a significantly big move for a trash coin, so I'm feeling a bit nostalgic today, just because I'm really curious to see what happens next. But up until now, you've seen that every all-time high that got broken, bam, 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 always ended with a correction, right? And now we've also had a liquidity grab from here. There was a lot of money in the 111,000 to 112,000 zone. And now, theoretically, you could say, damn, only an idiot wouldn't have assumed they'd scoop. Not exactly, because in my opinion, actually, Many times it happened that there was a lot of money to be grabbed somewhere, and we just didn't grab it. So I was trading based on typical manipulation, because my main positions and my main outlook were still bearish. Besides, it's still the same. As long as we don't close a daily candle above that ADH, not much really changes for me. However, now I think it could correlate with falling dominance, and I believe it could also correlate with a rise in Ethereum and certain altcoins, at least throughout July. Because, no matter how you look at it, Julys have usually been bullish for Bitcoin, so what happened is interesting to me. We'll see how it plays out. I'll admit, not to brag, I'm sitting in a short at 111,950, not hedging in B, and I have enough breathing room to ride it to 114, 115, or 120. Of course, I don't know if I'll actually want to do that, but as an old fox, I positioned myself at 111,950 with the idea they'd grab a new AH. When they were already in this zone, I saw that impulse, that momentum. Momentum is a popular word on Polish YouTube lately, but they were just going full throttle, so I set myself up here and I don't regret it. I'm playing for a fade on this H4, a fade on this H4. It's possible that this H4 will get taken out during the Asian session, but honestly, I have to admit to you guys that today they really did it. Damn, they did it nicely. They really did it very nicely, because I think if someone was trading and slightly overdid their position, today they really got a hell of a surprise. Minus 2% of the deposit today, not counting the profitable positions, because there were some, but still, from the main ones, setups on funded accounts, minus 2% of the deposit. Here, right now, I'm building another short for what's called a squeeze. Now, since I'm wrapping up, we'll have to watch this zone. It's very possible I'll take some profits in this area. And maybe we'll go again. Maybe Asia will push it up. Who knows? Honestly. I'll be honest with you. Who the hell knows? But that doesn't change the fact for me that I'm expecting a squeeze any moment now. Thanks, beautiful. Howdy. Bye.